Crypto. What do we even do now? Metals, stocks, all stuff's ripping. You're not going to buy the tops on that, are you? But your crypto bags are totally effed. It's a dilemma. It's a dilemma. By the way, Merry Christmas, everybody. I know we're 2 days out. We have a stream tomorrow, okay? We will be doing a Christmas Eve stream. Christmas Eve morning for most of you guys, of course. We'll be streaming tomorrow. Of course, no stream on Thursday, no stream on Friday because it's Boxing Day. Somebody was in the comments yesterday, Lark, we us in America know what Boxing Day is. When I grew up in America, long time ago, mind you, and maybe this is just Western Pennsylvania growing up in the Appalachian Mountains, I had no idea the hell Boxing Day was. A Boxing Day. Moved to New Zealand and they're like, oh, it's Boxing Day. Like, what are you talking about? It's Boxing Day. What is this bullshit? Anyway, Boxing Day. Yeah, we're not going to be doing streaming on Boxing Day either, guys. So no stream Thursday, no stream Friday. We are streaming tomorrow. Merry Christmas, of course, everybody. For everyone out there celebrating, exciting times. Can't wait to have Christmas morning, get the kids unwrapping the presents and all that stuff. It's going to be a great time. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We got crypto, we got stocks, we got the whole kit and caboodle. We better go ahead and hop straight into this. Let's go. Answer your questions second half of the stream, as always. Frank posted this. The cage is open. You can fly out anytime you want. Why you're still in there? The cage is all I know. Gosh, it feels like that some days. So looking at some of my things, it's like, why don't I just sell this and buy stocks? What am I doing here? Why am I here? What is the purpose of all this? Non-stop chopping and pain and suffering. Won't last forever, guys. Won't last forever. I know this has definitely been the vibe recently. Gosh darn it. It's been a rough ride. Zask Crypto. Well, there it is. Retreat reloaded. Says this is going to be the most satisfying cycle. Victory laps of a bear market are premature. You can't match my conviction. Lorenzo, in response to that, you want to know what phase of the cycle I think we're in? Bearish complacency. Bearish complacency isn't a widely standardized term in finance or trading, but based on market commentary and sentiment analysis, it typically refers to a situation where investors and traders become overly comfortable or complacent in their bearish outlook, meaning they're so convinced the markets will decline that they ignore signs of potential upside, strength, recovery. This can lead to excessive short positioning, missing out on rallies, being caught off guard by reversals. Good. Let the bears be bears. Dirty, filthy beasts. Penguin Curator here. You know, dude, I feel you. I do. What are we supposed to do here? Top blast stocks and precious metals already massively overextended. I mean, you're going to buy silver after that rally? I mean, gosh, darn it. Going to buy gold right now. Bearish RSI divergence coming in. We'll talk about that in a second. Some stocks are still at a good buy right now. Some things are not so attractive. We did have a lot of big AI names, data center stocks and stuff like that, have like a 50% retracement. So they were good buys on that retracement. They're bouncing back. Some of the space stocks, of course, getting a bit overblown. Of course, we shared those space stock opportunities here before they started blasting off. So if you guys had a chance to hop in on some of that stuff. Anyway, crypto's down bad. One might think there's an opportunity there. What reason do we have to believe any liquidity is coming back? This is the kind of the vibe right now. Andy says silver just hit $70. Crazy. And I sold my silver for half that. Didn't want to sell my silver. Sold it for taxes. Should have sold some fucking altcoins for taxes, apparently. Kept the damn silver. Lark. Come on. Anyway, I miss my silver, actually. It's so cool having little coins with the kangaroos and stuff on them. It's great. I miss that stuff. Anyway, besides the point. Yeah, it's an interesting place to be in. Against top blast metals right now. Silver at $70 is a hell of a lot less attractive than it was at 35 or 40. Gold at $4,500 is a lot less attractive than it was at $2,500, obviously. Most of these stocks, I mean, look, I'm still allocating to stocks. I think there's still a lot of great opportunities in the stock market. I'll continue allocating little bits of money to the stock market every week. Still buying a little bit of Solana every week, a little bit of Bitcoin, you know, just small purchases. But the rest of the stuff, oh boy. Zeneca, are you winning, son? Gold up 64%, silver up 132% this year as both hit new all-time highs. Well, Bitcoin is down, but it's digital gold, guys. It's gold on the internet. It's on the line, okay? It's on the line, guys. Wow. Compose yourself, Lurk. Anyway, Bitcoin. The price of gold right now hit $4,500. Crazy, man. It is, however, 15% since the big pullback here. This was when everybody was lining up outside of, you know, gold dealers, like literally lines in the street in Sydney and stuff like that to buy physical gold. The price went down 15% shortly after that. It was a big fat correction, very quick and sharp. We're up 16% almost since that time. However, we are now starting to print a big fat bearish RSI divergence, with the second peak coming in at a point when the RSI is coming in at a lower peak. Does that mean immediate price decline for gold? No, not necessarily. I think we're in a very strong commodities rally right now, but a correction may be coming sooner than people like to think. But let's see. We just broke out beyond the previous highs, up $100 higher than. Interesting place to be. Congratulations, Peter Schiff, and all the rest of the gold holders. I love gold, actually. Gold's fantastic. Just don't have any currently. James Easton, UK, institutional buying has been on the rise since Bitcoin at $80,000. This is Bitcoin USD one-day chart over on Coinbase. Bull or bear, believe what you like, but the fact remains big money is continuing to bid Bitcoin. It's very interesting. So this, a few different charts right here. This bottom chart, Bitcoin mined. So this is the how much institutions are buying versus how much miners are producing. You can also see Treasury Bitcoin, ETF Bitcoin, all that kind of stuff. So it's been interesting. Very, very interesting to see this sort of statistics here, which are the kind of moves in the charts that normally show up around these kind of bottoming moments, like back here in April. Interesting. Credible crypto. This is 150K is still my current minimum expectation for the blow off for this cycle with 200K, but below 300K is also very reasonable as a final target IMO. Bulls still exist. It's in the name. Credible. You can't be Credibear, man. You can't be Credibear crypto, can you? Anyway, bulls still exist out there. There is still a very clear window for the bulls to jump through. Okay. Just that the bears are kind of putting their butts in it right now and taking a crap all of everything. But, you know, push them out of the way, we can get the bulls through the window too. But that's it. The final price target for the cycle remains this sort of 200K zone. Remember, 150K is a 2.618 Fibonacci line. It's been the weakest cycle ever. We topped out at 126 because it means we barely got over the 1.618 Fibonacci this cycle. You'd think, okay, at least we're going to round back. Okay, diminishing returns. We're at least going to round back up to the 2.618, which is 150, 160K. Nope, didn't even get that. Yeah. Polaris XBT, BTC, and Bitfinex whales. Bitfinex whales now have the biggest long exposure in the last 2 years. Bitcoin whales, some of the oldest OGs, the deepest pocketed OGs in the space with the biggest wallets and some of the best historical performance, are super long. They just keep buying more. Fun fact, I've never eaten a Snickers bar and I never will. Yeah, you're not missing out. They're just kind of okay. Haven't had one in a long time, so junky candy stuff, but they're just kind of okay, you know. Anyway, it's interesting. Now, perhaps the Bitfinex whales are just cocky and they're wrong. They're wrong this time. I know they got it right all the times before, but this time they're just fucking wrong. Okay? And they're going to go down with the ship, lose billions. Or not. Time will tell. Bitcoin still coiling in this very, very tight triangle range right here. You can see this is the downtrend line. Unsurprisingly, of course, we got rejected. Rejected again, man. 20-day EMA and the downtrend line. We remain just above the bear flag support level here. Okay, we are in the bear flag. This channel right here, just take this off for a second. You can see it. This channel right here, okay, this is the bear flag. Okay, breakdown under here. It is bad news bears. take out the 20-day EMA in this top resistance line, and we could be in for a major rally. There's very little in between. Or we just grind sideways forever. But probably, if we lose this, market will start positioning short down to the 75K level. We'll talk about that in a second. If we break out here, market starts positioning for the 100K retest. Okay? That's the implication of the breakout from this very, very tight range we're finding ourselves in here for the price of Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin on the weekly chart, okay? You have to understand, from where we are right now, there is not a lot going on until you get down to this sort of mid-70 level. Then at least you can say, okay, well, maybe you can catch a bid on the lower range of the April price action, which of course lines up with the resistance here from 24. So maybe there's something there. Maybe you get back down to the 200-week EMA, which is around $68,000 right now. You really wouldn't want to see it any lower than that. That would be some pretty bad shit, guys. Plus, even if we get down to 68K, oh, your altcoins are going to find a new definition of pain. Oh, what? You think because they're at multi-year lows, many of them at lower prices than the fucking FTX collapse, that they can't go lower? They can always go lower. Always. Anyway, on the weekly here, MACD histograms are slowly starting to tick up in the right direction. Now, if we get a weekly, when we get the weekly MACD bullish crossover, which to be clear is not close right now, okay? But when we do get that down here, I think it'll be a very, very powerful signal. The last time we had a crossover at this sort of depth, well, it was way back here in April 22. It at the very least gave us a gosh darn decent relief rally up to retest key EMAs and all that kind of stuff. But we're almost as low, actually, right now as the near bottom of the bear market in sort of July, August. That's right around when BlackRock launched their private fund for Bitcoin. This was approximately the bottom of the market. Then, of course, FTX collapsed, and it was kind of an unknown bit of excitement near the end of the year. But chart-wise, that was about the end. So we've come down real hard, real fast, and we basically had a speed run here from the equivalent of what took from April 21 to August 21. Basically, in 2 or 3 months, we ran that entire gauntlet. It's been a good time. Anyway, at some point, this will flip back over, and that'll be a pretty bullish signal when it does happen. We got stopped out of our Bitcoin long yesterday. It was very, very tight. I just kind of think, well, okay, since I'm longing into resistance, I'm going to keep the stop loss super tight. So lost, I don't know, $250 or something. It's fine. That was the point of keeping the super tight stop loss, was that if it gets stopped out, then we're just taking a very, very small loss, because I thought, okay, well, if it breaks out overnight while I'm, sleeping or something like that, then I'll catch it. If not, then c'est la vie. Solana long is still open, but it ain't looking super hot right now by any means. If you want to join me trading over on BitUnix, link down below. Long the rips, short the dips. It is available to anyone, anywhere. I'm doing most of my futures trading over here right now. If you want to join me trading over there, there's only a few days left for the insane deposit bonus that they got going on right now. Put in $1,000, get 200 back. Put in 2,000, get 400 back. Like, these are the kind of crazy deals they have on right now. Plus, they have insane whale bonuses, like put in 50K, get 5K back. Put in 100K, get 10K back. Like, these are wild, wild deals, okay? Link down below. You can check it out. Start trading the way you should, with privacy, with freedom. Enjoy. Okay, continuing. Got a lot to get through here, guys. Bitmine immersions add another 99,000 Ethereum. They now have over 4 million ETH. Tom Lee's still buying, man. I know internally they're saying ETH might go down to $1,800, but they are still buying. Nice, good. Joseph Young saying that Ethereum outperform in 2026, completely dominates the big three metas for the next year: tokenization, stablecoins, and DeFi. Smart money has full conviction, and ETH block out the noise. Actually, ETH had about $84 million or so in ETF inflows yesterday. Bitcoin had another $120 million outflow day, and Solana had like a $7 million inflow day or something like that. So Wall Street is buying ETH and Solana right now. There's been a bit of repositioning on their Bitcoin positions, but the outflows are not like billion-dollar outflow days. They're like $100 million outflow days, so it could be a lot worse. Let's put it that way. Ethereum is more active than ever. Ken Joseph Young here. The Ethereum ecosystem is hitting an all-time high monthly transaction count. Base 452 million transactions. Arbitrum 80 million. World chain 53. That's crazy, man. That's actually really base, man. Base just keeps on winning, doesn't it? Ethereum also rejected at the 20-day EMA yesterday. Didn't quite get back up to the downtrend line, but it did settle around the bottom of the bear flag. Where it's getting rejected at. Not great, ETH. Not great. So let's see. Of course, all this stuff is in a downtrend. All these things will remain in downtrends until we get back over some of these key EMAs. The 20-day, of course, being one of the absolute key ones here. So we shall see, of course, when that happens. But what's interesting is you are starting to see a lot of these EMAs starting to flatten out. So you see the 20 and the 50 day are flattening out right now. Perhaps we are finding a bottoming moment here for these coins in the short term with a potential rally into Q1, at least for the complacency shoulder, the relief rally, the kiss of death in the 50-week, all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Let's see. Solana still looking like a pile of dog crap. Clinging on to the bottom end of the support here, potentially bearish underside retest on what was previously support, now acting as resistance. Didn't even get up to the 20-day EMA yesterday. At least Bitcoin and Ethereum had the decency to get rejected at the 20-day EMA. Solana couldn't even get it up that far. I mean, come on, man. You don't need another whiskey, Solana. You're having performance issues here, buddy. Just put it down, get some sleep, come back in a few days and try again. Anyway. 20-day EMA and the downtrend line are right here. We're so damn close. All you need is a daily close right now for Solana above about $132, and that's going to break out of the 20-day and break out of the downtrend. Okay, we are still in this big, fat, descending channel. Problem is, of course, the downside on that keeps getting lower. It's mid-90s now, so if we get a strong rejection here and a bearish impulse, I would not be surprised to see us test the lower end of that. I guess I'll just have to buy more Solana in that case, but shit, not going to be great, is it? Poly market, more bad news for Polygon. Poly market dropped some big claims. There's a lot of rumors going around that they will be leaving Polygon, but not leaving Ethereum. They're just going to make their own layer 2, which is basically the end of all times for Polygon, which is back to near... Oh my God, the price of this thing. They rebranded the tokens again. You see, but like, man, back to 10 cents. That's crazy. Lark, when did you... I've sold portions of my AVAX bag throughout the year, and I've completely exited my AVAX bags a couple months ago. I think I bought some pump, which is down horrifically now, so, you know. Yeah, not because AVAX is a bad blockchain or anything like that, just one of the things that really sort of hit it home for me was like they had these digital asset treasury companies and everybody's all excited. It was like, you read the fine print. Basically, the foundation has to OTC AVAX to these digital asset treasury companies because nobody's buying. They can't sell. They can't sell their AVAX. You know, and they ran a big OTC round last year, which I participated in. And that you figure it out, okay, the foundation's actually just struggling to offload this stuff here because there's not enough demand for AVAX in the market. And that's probably not going to change anytime soon. Now, can it have a sort of a rational pump based on the market getting all excited? Yeah, of course it can. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get through. Okay, nearly 97% of all altcoins on Binance trading below their 200-day moving average, one of the most oversold readings on record, similar to the COVID lows. That's crazy, man. But most alts sit below. Historically, markets are deeply oversold in past cycles. This formed major bottoms just before recoveries. Again, we shared the Bitcoin versus others chart yesterday. Either we are due for a bounce in Q1, Q2, and things could actually get a little bit exciting around here, or we are about to experience new depths of pain and suffering that have almost probably never been seen in the cryptocurrency markets, on par with, actually worse than the COVID crash. Worse than the 2022 bear market lows. Maybe worse than 2018. Oh, boy. DOT, man, I have not held DOT for a long time. I sold it for basically break even after having held it for years. Absolute fucking disappointment of a coin. Nobody's using Polkadot. Nobody's doing anything on Polkadots. I would not rebuy personally. I mean, if you think there's something going on there, you have some kind of edge on whatever the hell they're doing, I guess, sure. But like, man, zero interest for me in Polkadot right now. One of those coins that in its essence should have been good, but has failed at almost every level to deliver that reality. Anyway, continuing. Why does 2025 stock market rally continue in 2026? According to UBS, UBS sees U.S. stock markets 2025 rally extending in 2026, driven by strong earnings, easier monetary policy clarity, corporate profits, especially in tech, remain robust, keeping valuations moderate. The bank forecasts S&P 500 earnings to rise 10%, potential lift in the index to around 7,700. Additional Federal Reserve rate cuts and a new Fed chair may further support gains. Upcoming clarity on tariffs could reduce uncertainty. UBS maintains an attractive rating on U.S. equities, advising investors to stay positioned for continued market growth. But it's a midterm year. Come on. Wow, we're cooked. Oh boy. But it's a midterm year, guys. Don't you know stock market's on midterms? I could actually see a situation where we have like a Q1 rally, maybe a bit in like Q2, like April, something like that. Huge correction over the summer, or maybe finishes out in May or June or something like that. But then a huge correction as we head into midterm uncertainty. Could see that stocks would actually benefit from that. To be honest, crypto would probably just be down and then go down more. Will says everyone's leaving crypto to go trade stocks and rocks. Here's the evidence. On-chain trading volume absolutely crushing. Pump fund revenue down. Solana volume down. Bitcoin open interest down. It's over. Connor Bates, presidential cycles, seasonality cycle charts that pointing to the prospect of volatile and ranging price action ahead in 2026. This is how a usual presidential midterm year plays out. So what's interesting is you can see here on this chart, you'll have a rally into, well, basically April or May or something like that before a big correction leading into the midterms. Then 2027 probably ends up being an absolutely fantastic year and probably the blow-off year in the markets. If, of course, previous cycles repeat in a similar fashion. And of course, past performance does not equate to future performance. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Investing is risky. You can literally lose all your money. Risk disclosures down below. Love my portfolio disclosures. Anyway, it's interesting. Who we got here? John CMT at The Rock Trading. There has been no time in S&P 500 history that it has ran more than 30% before pulling back to the 200 weekly moving average. Most recent steep pullback was the COVID crash, where price was 23% above the 200-week moving average. Post-COVID, 25%. Tariffs, 22%. Current S&P 500 is 27% above the 200-week. Interesting. Very interesting. SPX only just a breath away from all-time highs. We'll see how it plays out today, of course. Elliott Capital, most disappointing bubble ever, part 2. This is all the way back to the dot-com bubble. Top 5 largest stocks, okay? Forward PE multiples, 50x. You can see right now versus the other 4 to 95 stocks in the index. You can see right now, not even close, man. In fact, 2021 was crazier than the current moves in the market. Here's another way of looking at it. Past bubbles saw much larger stock price surges in their final years. 1 year total return performance to peak. Japan, 1987, 164%. Europe, TMT in 2000, 123%. US Tech, 2000, 104%. Current US Tech, 19%. Is the bubble in the room with us right now? Apparently not. Professor Heist says NASDAQ is presenting the same pattern we saw in September 2024. With everyone now expecting a correction, it wouldn't surprise me much if it gets delayed into March when the majority is ready. It rarely happens. That would be interesting. That would also, again, fit up with that presidential chart, right? And that might give crypto a decent relief rally in Q1 before a little more chaos perhaps later in the year. Heisenberg, QQQ, something will give, and soon these next few days, everyone's watching these two lines. That is resistance line here for the NASDAQ. That is support line here all the way back to the April tariff lows for the NASDAQ. That's going to go one of two ways, guys. Whichever way it goes is probably going to be a trend setter for the next few weeks at least. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hey, guys, if you're not in the WAP yet, or not on our Discord yet, guys, check it out. There's a link down below. It's called The Inner Circle. Our goal with this group is to help you get the information you need, to get that alpha, to get the information, to get the community that you need, because investing alone sucks. Okay, you need to have a community who's got your back. You can talk with me, you can talk to my team, you can talk to our community of highly engaged investors and traders. You also get access to our free trading course. It's actually not a free trading course. It's $299 trading course. You'll get it for free when you sign up. Weekly altcoin reports. So, for example, we shared midnight, the report on Cardano's midnight thing back at like 4 cents. It's up 150% or something since then. You're going to weekly stock reports. These are on hot stocks like Rocket Labs and stuff like that. I shared that report last week, for example, before it surged in price. Regular trading setups. So you can look at stocks, crypto, and metals, long and short positions. Okay. Then that's just, we have AMAs, token sniffer bot, macro signals, DeFi reports, prediction markets. It's actually ridiculous. The value gets absolutely insane, man. It's $50 a month, okay, which is just super competitively priced. Plus, you get a 7-day free trial. Links down below. Go check it out. Thank you very much. So, Firefly. This thing is up 70% in the past month. We shared a report on it here at $22. Went down to about 18 bucks a couple days later. Of course, it is riding on the space trade right now, $4.5 billion market cap. For some reason, my brokerage app does not have this thing. Stop. Why not brokerage app? Why? Anyway, we shared, of course, a full report on this back on the 12th, as you can see here. So this is a full breakdown on everything that Firefly Aerospace is doing. There's a lot of these hot space companies that are absolutely taking off. And I can see the space trade running, and there's going to be a lot of volatility in it, as we can see in the charts already. But I can see the space trade running until like the SpaceX IPO. Wouldn't be shocked to see that. Anyway, there's a full breakdown report here. You know, strengths, weaknesses, analyst views, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to get that report, hop into the Inner Circle. Go check it out. Okay, anyway, continuing. Avi, space stocks ripping on the SpaceX news. The equity market is now the crypto market. Gosh darn it is. I honestly feel like cutting a lot of my crypto exposure and just going into stocks. When we go back to the start of this video, it's like, but everything's so high right now. And crypto's so battered down. Surely there must be some bid for all this dog shit at some point. It says, we reached peak narrative investing. For all the TradFi guys that clown on the crypto market over the years, welcome to the game. Rocket Labs absolutely ripping, although pre-market showing pulling back to around 72 bucks. Nice move after a huge rally up, 50% pullback. Okay, stocks are volatile too, guys. It ain't just crypto. All right, 50% pullback to the 200-day, strong bounce off of it. What you'd want to see now is a good pullback to the 20 or 50-day EMAs, yellow blue lines here on the chart. That could be a chance to restock the ammo a little bit for hopefully a push higher if the space trade continues and has a bit more legs than a few days. Okay. The Russell. Yes. Somebody's asking, Lark, are you going to talk about the Russell? Yes, we're going to talk about the Russell. The Russell is breaking out. This is from Quant Data 21. Russell's breaking out for the first time in many years. Every time it does, Bitcoin follows higher. Come on, Bitcoin. Now is your time. Correlate with something positive, man. Don't just correlate. I feel like every day, Bitcoin traders wake up and like, what market somewhere in the world is down today? Look, you know, the Thai stock market's down 3%. Nuke Bitcoin. Yeah. Every time, guys. I bought more Amazon, more Meta this week. I bought some more STRC stock, which is the preferred stock from dividend stock from MicroStrategy. Oh, what else did I buy? Some other stuff, just adding to existing positions. But Amazon, I like what Mike's saying here. Amazon, generational buy, currently sitting at decade low valuations with an EPS of 36% plus year over year, revenue up 13% year on year, profit margin up 38% year on year. Amazon's a clear buy. If you missed Tesla at 210, this is your second chance. $300 in coming soon. Let's go. Currently at 228. It is unfortunately currently testing the wrong side of the uptrend here. So it really needs to get back above these key EMAs around 230. And then, okay, we might be saying it. Well, we're back. Now we're back above the what was the support line is acted now as resistance here currently. 3 bounces off the 200-day. But long term, yeah, Amazon, good stock. I'm buying for not just a quick flip. I'm buying for a 10, 20-year hold on Amazon. It ain't going anywhere. Meta, man. Well, 2022 is wild. Look at this. Meta went down almost 80%. People say, oh, this crypto is volatile, man. Fucking Meta went down 77.8%, man, in 2022. Gosh darn it. This thing was trading at like $90. Anyway, now it's up. Basically, this is the thing. You could have bought Meta. This is right around the FTX crash, by the way. You could have bought Meta instead of Bitcoin, been up basically the same amount with a lot less volatility, bullshit, and drama. Of course, if you just bought NVIDIA, you would be up 3x more than Bitcoin right now. It's been definitely a stock market versus a crypto market recently. Crypto has been suffering for a variety of reasons, and 1010 just screwed us super hard. And we are going to have to deal with the ghosts of that for a little while now. Anyway, interesting. Bought more Meta. So one of the most undervalued in terms of PE ratio and stuff like that in the Magnificent Seven right now. Tesla cannot break out beyond this sort of $500 mark. We got up to $498 or $499 yesterday, but it got rejected there. So we're still struggling to put that daily close in above this orange line. When you get the daily close above here, though, I could easily see Tesla ripping up to like 600, 650, something like that as a decent breakout from this resistance line here. So something to keep an eye on. Okay. Holy cow. Gosh darn, I talk, don't I? Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. See a lot of people commenting on podcasts, not just here, but a lot of other ones saying, I knew it, crypto's dead. I remember seeing that comment all the time 4 years ago on the bottom. Yeah, Joshua, it's true, man. You know, if you look at a lot of the metrics and charts and stuff like that, it's either we are very close to a bottom for altcoins and stuff like that, or even Bitcoin and stuff, or it's going to get really, really, really bad. And of course, it'd be funny if crypto just has this horrific bear market in 2026. Well, stocks just keep ripping. It'd be hilarious, actually. I mean, not really, because, you know, I own crypto, but fuck. Anyway. Polygon is so done. Polygon, if Polymarket leaves, which they should, to be honest, honestly, Polymarket should leave. There's no reason to be on Polygon. They'd be much better off just being in their own layer 2. Or move to base. Move to base. That would be the move. Anyway, either way, Polymarket being such a successful app and being on Polygon, building on Polygon a few years ago, oh yeah, it made sense. Polygon in 2025, nah, dog. You got to get out of there. Nope. Okay, continuing. What if everyone is in denial and this is a bear market? This is a bear market still in photography. That's the problem right now. I mean, it's not a bear market for stocks. Stocks are ripping. Not a bear market for metals. Metals are ripping. Although the risk is starting to increase, particularly for the metals trade. I think the risk is starting to get pretty high on, you know, buying metals right now. Stocks, mixed bag. There's some that are looking really good chart-wise. There's some that are looking a bit overheated, but that's good. It's a pretty healthy market overall, and maybe the indexes take a bit of a correction at some point. But that's fine. It's not going anywhere. It's buying opportunity. Stocks are the real wealth makers, of course. Crypto's in a bear market. Crypto's been in a bear market since you lost the 50-week. Now, as we've said many, many times before, the question becomes, is this going to be the baby bear, or is this going to be the big mama bear, and we don't see a bottom for Bitcoin until like October or November of 2026? Plus, altcoins, the vast majority of them, I know there's been some examples like Zcash and stuff that had the little moment in the sun, but the vast majority of altcoins have been in a bear market since January of this year. They've been in a year-long bear market already. The vast majority of them. The charts have been fucking down only. It's been brutal. There's been some rallies. I know ETH went to an all-time high by $100. Again, why the heck would you have bought ETH? I mean, why buy and hold ETH when you could have bought Facebook stocks, man? Seriously. Now, look, I've been investing in stocks for years. And I see the comments like, oh, look, Lark's buying stocks now. Must be all over. He's given up on crypto. I've not given up on crypto. I still think there's a lot of great trades in crypto. But as we've been saying for a long time, there's very few investable assets in crypto. Mostly it's just trade crypto. Crypto's got great trading volatility, right? So you can trade crypto. But stocks are great. I've been investing in stocks for a long time, and it's been nice to have that actually make money somewhere. Oh, boy. I think my only mistake in 2025 was not nuking more of my crypto portfolio back in April to buy stocks, because they've had huge gains, whereas a lot of the crypto just kept going down. Anyway, I didn't talk about the options expiry today. We did talk about that yesterday, but yes, for anybody who wasn't listening yesterday, we have a huge amount of options expiring at the end of the week for crypto. So perhaps after the OPEX day is finished, that could clear the window for the crypto markets to actually rally, and maybe we'll see something decent happen. Fingers crossed. Stocks and silver are ripping, nothing wrong trading those. Exactly, man. Go where the money's being made. Don't just hold on to one thing forever and ever and ever and think, this is the only place where I can make money. I remember reading something, particularly people who grew up in poor households. I grew up in a very poor household. I grew up food stamps, secondhand clothes, single mom household. You know, it's not my dad's fault, but I grew up in a single mom household. Anyway, long story, but I grew up in a single mom household. And here's the deal. When you grow up very poor like that, where a flat tire is a fucking financial emergency. When you grow up very poor like that, it messes your head up long term. You start to think like, well, okay, if you make money in something later, then you think, well, this one thing is the only thing that I could possibly make money with. I got to cling to it for dear life. Because what if it goes away? I can't make money anywhere else. This is why back in 22, I was diversifying a lot. I was buying a shit ton of stocks. I still have a big stock portfolio back in New Zealand, buying a shit ton of stocks, US, New Zealand, Australia. Unfortunately, I had to sell some of my US stock positions and my gold and silver to pay my exit tax from New Zealand down. New Zealand. My net worth, I swear to God, would be 2 or 3 times as much if I'd moved to Dubai 4 years ago. Anyway, besides the point. Think forward, Lark, not back. The Dalai Lama, great, very interesting character. Read his book one time. One of his books, probably written many, but he was talking about how much of our suffering in life comes from 2 places. One, looking back on things that happened in the past because you can't change them and having suffering from that. Or 2, having pre-suffering from things that have not happened and probably won't happen in the future. Be here now. Your portfolio today is the only portfolio that matters. Okay? You can think about how to position that portfolio in the future. For example, I love metals, right? And I'll buy metals again in the future. I'm not going to buy silver at $70 an ounce. I'll wait. Might be a couple years, but I'll buy some more silver at some point. It'd be nice to have just, 10,000 ounces of silver or something like that and just stack it up here in the office. Anyway, besides the point. Trade where the money's making. Okay. Right now, money's making in stocks, has not been making in crypto, and it can change quickly. And I know what you think about it. Got to perfectly catch the bottom of crypto. You don't. You can just, you can wait for things to turn around and hop on the train when the train starts leaving the station. I have stocks. My brother-in-law's 100% stocks and doubles the pain. Rah! You'll have your day in the sun, Jim. You'll have your day in the sun. Don't worry. Silver's up 100% this year. Better and safer to trade than Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. Indeed. Been crazy, man. Again, this, like I was saying with the Meta trade, you could have bought Meta at the same time you could have bought Bitcoin at 15K. You could have bought Meta at $90 a stock or whatever. And you would have had basically the same returns with a whole lot less bullshit. A lot less volatility and risk. What about the M2? We decoupled from it horrifically about 4 or 5 months ago. And up until 1010, it was kind of like, well, we're a bit decoupled with it, but it's kind of standard. It doesn't always perfectly track it. But ever since the 1010 crash, it's just been complete decoupling. So global liquidity is showing up in metals. Global liquidity is showing up in stocks, but it's not showing up in crypto right now. Altcoin rally is going to rip our faces off. Let's go. We can buy new faces. Yes. What about buying physical gold? Again, I feel like I love physical gold. Very nice. Nice to have little coins and stuff sitting in your safe. Feels good, man. I miss them. I miss my coins. They were great. Here's the deal, though. Buying physical gold here at $4,500, not super attractive in my opinion. I think gold and silver, it's going to take a while because they're big assets and they move very slowly. But I think even if there's more upside left on those, that those things will have some pretty epic corrections. And that's, I think, when I'll buy. I'll definitely buy more gold and silver in the future, but not going to be chasing here personally. Not to confuse with the Dalai Lama, which is a very surreal animal. I like that. That's a good one. At least it's cheap for you to come back and visit New Zealand. The Royal Bank of New Zealand has cucked our the Reserve Bank. So the Reserve Bank of New Zealand has cucked our dollar. Yeah. Anyway. Thought being in cash would feel better. There's money being made in a lot of places. Being in cash for the crypto market, not a bad idea. Being in cash and looking every day at the financial markets and watching stocks rip, less exciting. Silver is not done. Oh, I would not be surprised, Dean. I would not be surprised to see silver rip, is 100. I feel like $100 an ounce is one of those ones is like, we get up to like, I don't know, 92 or something weird like that. Everyone's going to be, oh, it's going to $100 an ounce and then we're going to sell. And then it kind of doesn't. But yeah, I could see, look, silver's probably got some more, it's in that sort of parabolic run phase. And I could see it have a little more fuel left in the tank. So yeah, like I said, I would not be shorting, I didn't say it, but I would not be shorting silver here. But I'm also not going to be buying spot silver for long-term holdings here. I think there'll be better opportunities in the not-so-distant future for that. Didn't talk about arbitrism and optimism in a while. Not much to talk about. The tokens suck balls, and I would never fucking buy them for any reason because there's absolutely zero reason to own either of those tokens. But the networks are fine. I like Arbitrum. Used it many, many times. Optimism I haven't used very much, but I've used it a few times back in the day. But owning the tokens, why would you do that? How did I get shadow banned from y'all? Oh, I see ya. I see you. You're not shadow banned. Like if you've been here for a bit, I can see I see you. I see your posts. I see your posts, man. You are seen. Silver touching 70 this morning. Look forward to the day we can share our joy of being in the crypto market again. Yeah, it's crazy, If 1010 hadn't happened, Bitcoin would be over 100K right now. ETH would probably be 3.5, 4K. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'd even be having some new all-time highs in some of these coins. Okay. Remember, Lark said he's going to wait for Sui to dip to $2 range when it was at $5. Now it's at $1.50. And I'm not buying, actually, just because my opinion's not changed on Sui necessarily, but on really the layer one trade more broadly. Sui, Aptos, Say, Monads, the new hot one. I don't know. I feel like the layer one, I've basically reduced all exposure to the layer one trade except for Ethereum and Solana. So Sui's probably getting an interesting buy zone. But I'm not sure I want to be buying layer ones right now. Or again, I don't know. Hard to say. There'll be some trades to make there, but just buying and holding layer ones, I don't know. Outside of Solana, I don't want to take the risks. My fiber screams crypto bull and incoming. Everything else screams round trip and bad taste in my mouth. Green Eye 023. I know exactly how you feel. It's like the macro, man. Look, the macro. We've almost never had a better setup. The rate cuts are coming. The Fed is easing. The Fed's ended QT. All this good stuff's happened. Trump's trying to run the economy super hot, and the stimmy checks are coming, and the tax breaks are coming, and all this good shit. And people are probably just going to buy stocks instead of crypto. Oh, boy. Lark, can you look at the, yeah, why not? Let's look at the marathon chart. I have not looked at that in a little while. My marathons and my New Zealand stock portfolio. I still don't actually open it up all that often. Oh my God. Wrecked. Hey, maybe we can get, oh yeah, we have to put it on screen here for you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Massively oversold here. RSI got down to 21. So likely a bottoming one. Actually, a double bottom forming up on the chart here. So maybe, just maybe, there is a little bit of hope there. But you actually got to get the price over here, which is about $12. And it's not a huge rally that we're looking at here. It's about $2 or $3, maybe about $3, let's say. So it'll rally from here up to like the 200-day, and then we'll see how it reacts from there. Oh, where did I buy at? Higher. Back in like, I don't know, a while ago. Geez. I think my price, I think I got in like $25 back here somewhere, filming it around $25. Maybe it was December 24 or something like that. I've been holding it for a while. It's been underwater for a long time. Hey, you know what? Triple bottom. There you go. Actually, no, not triple bottom, but interesting to see it bouncing off the $10 mark again, because we saw that low back here in April as well. Man, Marathon just has been getting its ass kicked. Not a huge amount of hope in that chart currently, but hey, maybe we get our double bottom playing out. That'd be nice. Tax loss harvesting till the end of 25, then blast off. I could see that. Stock portfolio, great. Crypto portfolio, disaster. Yeah, well, it's, you know, stuff like my Bitcoin's fine. It's fine. My Solana's a little bit underwater, but it's fine. It's not that big of a worry. Yeah, the altcoins. Fuck. But hey, my stocks are doing great. That's fantastic. I sold Plume a while ago and haven't really thought about it since then. Probably an interesting real world asset play, to be honest. But gosh, I have not thought about Plume in a hot minute here. What's the chart doing these days? Let's look on the buy bid here. Oh my God. What is going on here? This is like the last time you guys asked about it. It's like a 2.5 cents or something. Jeez Louise. That is a slaughtered altcoin. Gosh darn it. It's almost coming down to fill the wick from the 1010 crash. That's how bad it is. There is no bid for this shit in the books right now. That's crazy, man. Look, the contrarian bet would be that, hey, maybe Plume's getting to be a point where it's a great buy down here, but gosh darn it. Strong support of the penny, guys. Jeez. That's brutal. You know, I bought a position in here around sort of 14, 13 cents, something like that, and ended up kind of selling around here around 10 cents. It was, yeah, I think it was around there. Sold for around 10 cents. Haven't really looked back at it since then, but man, that's crazy. 1010 happened and it just died. It just died. See, it was ranging. The market makers are keeping it in a nice range here for quite a while. Of course, they're keeping it above 8 cents and between sort of 8 and 12 cents. It had a nice little range. It was kind of stuck in there for a while. You could say it was an accumulation zone. Then 1010 happened. It was over, man. It was over. Zero bid in the books for that thing. That's wild, wildly bad chart. Now, look, maybe the contrarian bet again saying, yeah, maybe this is a great time to buy Plume. Don't know. Personally, just go buy some fucking stocks, man. More stocks, you know, add more to my stock portfolio. Anyway, crypto's hopium for degenerate gamblers. Some days I feel like I'm a degenerate gambler. Want to be a serious investor, guys, and invest in serious stuff, so I buy altcoins. Thank God for my stocks. Anyway, look, I say this, Larky. Look, guys, again, we've shared many charts, and we can just sit here and beat the dead horse nonstop, okay? Others, BTC is screaming that we will have a rebound at some point in the not so distant future. US PMI manufacturing, all this kind of stuff. Global liquidity is continuing to increase, which crypto's lost a bit on because we've had a big shake up the market maker scene. Normally 90 days after one of these big leverage crashes, and this is the biggest one in history, so maybe we have to absorb more pain than that. End of year selling, options expiry, all these kind of things point to, at the very least, Q1 giving us a relief rally up to 100K for BTC, and a lot of altcoins will go up like 100% or something during that time. And it'll either be the start of something new or the final pump before the real dump and the bear market fully sets in. Plume it. Oh boy, that's a funny one. Gold ripping. Oh yeah. It's not gambling if you know you're gonna win. I like your thinking. Ondo's the only real world asset project worth holding long term. Ondo, much like the others, no real purpose in owning the token. Great protocol. They're doing a lot of great stuff with RWAs and bringing RWAs on chain, and like, wow, yeah, they're the real deal, man. Problem is, when you buy the Ondo token, you're buying a governance token. Are you making money every time they sell a stock? No. So what's the purpose of the token now? Can it rally off of just general hype and stuff like that? Yes. But it'd be nice if there was like buybacks or something happening. What's your opinion on virtuals? I still think virtuals is a great play for AI agents and robotics in the crypto space. Probably one of the very few legit players in the AI and robotics space when it comes to crypto stuff. Like these guys, I think, are actual crypto builders, but tokens not doing well like everything. So 10-10. Holy shit. Did anybody make a 10-10 meme? Somebody make a 10-10 meme. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's run it up to 1 billion. Make a 10-10 meme and run it to 1 billion. Let's make it the trenches back alive. Be great. Wait, it's way cooler than 6-7. 6-7. I feel old when I see all this 6-7. So we're like 6-7, 6-7. Like, oh my God, how gray is my hair? Fuck. Anyway, guys, we're done for the day. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Back tomorrow for the last stream of the week. Get all your Christmas shopping done. I'll see you then. Peace. Bye.